This is Jacob Carver, and welcome to the, second installment? Third installment?
Second installment.
Second installment of the horror video game series. This is Brian from Midnight's Gaming Emporium, and special guest Matt from
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And we're here to talk about
the
CD-rom
CD-rom
era video
of gaming. Yep. This is kind of interesting because this is when things really started to change for it. You got FMV really became big for a long time. Then you got the whole polygons and pre-rendered backgrounds. The real big ones we'll get to eventually, like Resident Evil and stuff. We'll have those. That's going to be its own little episode because this is going to be big. So I'm really looking forward to this one. The earlier stuff in 8-bit and 16-bit, I enjoyed that. Especially, I enjoyed showing off my Clock Tower game because I'm really proud that I was able to come across one and I own it.
I mean, that is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Like I said, most people probably don't even realize it ever came out on the Super Famicom. When I saw that, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I have to own it. And now that I have a Retron 5, that means something. And I can, since it's an emulator type platform, I can put in translation packs.
Yes. Now you actually know what it says.
Yeah.
Which is
so that'd be
better.
something for like this October for like Halloween, do like a full playthrough of that game.
Yeah.
Put up on the site.
You might want to have about 16 hours set aside because a character moves at like 1 mile an hour at all times.
You saw that.
Yeah,
it is slow. And the cool part is when you first come across Scissor Man, actually there's like different scenes, different places where it happens. It's not just one spot, which kind of like makes every time you play it, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about that. Now,
you talked about cartridges already.
We're done with the 8-bit
now we're
tits.
talking about discs.
Now we're going into the 32-bit tits. Let's go.
32-bit tits.
First up.
All right.
This is about horror and gaming and butchering the English language.
Hey, it's fine.
So, first up, we're going to talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Sega CD.
Yeah, Dracula liked tits, so that works.
Yeah. Yeah, he liked a whole bunch of wives.
Yes, he did. But now, if I remember, was the Bram Stoker's Dracula the one where it was more pre-rendered backgrounds and it was like a point-and-click style adventure, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of a different one?
It had the digitalized backgrounds and stuff, but this was more like the action-type game. Like the cartridges.
I am thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of the one that was on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You're talking about this one. I got games down here. Here we go.
Give it to Vanna.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
we gotta get that close in there. There you go. Isn't that beautiful box art, everybody? Look at that. There's no doubt that is Dracula.
It's actually all together, not falling apart.
There is a little cut here, and I don't even know how that got there.
But you
actually own the Sega CD.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You want to know something? So many
it
of
has
their
the
games
foam
ship.
inside.
Wow.
That's worth $10 on its own.
So many of their games just simply ship with like cracks and stuff in the cases already.
Well, and it's like this was like pristine. I had it just sitting in a drawer because I barely ever play it because it's not that great of a game. But like at the time, it was visually like nothing was out that looked as good as this game. Maybe other than that Batman Returns game that was on the Sega CD where it had the driving stages. But yeah, I hardly ever played this. It sat in the drawer, and it still managed to get a crack. That's how shitty these cases are that they did for Sega CD and for Saturn. They're god awful. Like I said earlier, I think they're made of like candied sugar. They just fall apart.
And that's one of the very early rated games.
Yes.
That predates the actual.
This is back when we had MA13 instead of just M. Yeah. So, and pretty much Sega CD is to blame for us having a rating system in general because of Night Trap.
Night Trap, yep.
Which is a game I wish I had. I don't. It's not a good game either.
No.
But yeah, Night Trap, because of there being one scene of a woman in a nightgown getting killed, they were like, well, we need to throw an M rating. We need something that lets parents know that that woman's wearing the nightgown. Kids might, they might pop a boner.
Yeah.
We can't have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula is, like I said earlier, it's visually, like for its time, it was visually like ahead of its time. But the gameplay is really bad.
Yes.
You play as Jonathan Harper, which is Keanu Reeves in the movie. There are really badly put in FMV cutscenes straight from the movie, which is, I feel, was kind of a stupid choice because if you're buying this game, you've probably seen the movie,
Right.
so you've already fucking seen that stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you're hoping maybe for something like, oh, they put all this time for these backgrounds and animating all these characters. You think they might have made a cutscene or something? No, they just took
Something new for the game, but
Yeah.
no.
horribly compressed straight from the movie.
And his attack was like some little...
He'd kick.
Yeah,
He would
it'd
kick.
be
The
like
kick animation
horrible.
looked like an old man that had a lot of arthritis problems, and he had like a punch. And your main enemies are bats.
Yeah,
A lot of fucking bats.
And you couldn't hit them.
Yeah, the jumping's atrocious. There,
Mm.
and they would put platforming in where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna jump from here to this rock over a bog, and it might have been a 2-inch gap, but you'd never fucking make it. It
Yeah.
took you like 3 tries. It's like when you can have a game like Pitfall that does platforming so much better, and this thing on an advanced console.
Yeah.
Goddamn. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Bram Stoker's Dracula. Did you play this?
I never played the CD version of it.
You're very lucky.
I'm glad.
I mean, I saw that you guys had talked about the Super Nintendo versions and all that. They're not any better. They're more playable than this, but they're still not that great either.
Yeah. Okay. Any more?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. We
Right,
can
we're
really mosey on along.
All right. Gonna go to the next game. Gonna have Evil Dead. Hail to the King, baby.
Now we're switching. It's a game that I haven't played that you played.
That might have been one I played. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to how many? They've made a ton of Evil Dead games.
Yeah,
on the
only
PS2
one.
and-
Yep, only one for the PS1, but a couple of them came out for the PS2.
Yeah.
Basically, the game takes place about. I think it was.
I'm the game bitch.
Yeah.
The game bitch.
About 8 years after Army of Darkness, where you go back to the cabin where the
If your arm gets tired, you can put it down.
yeah I'm gonna need to show it the whole time.
I'll just smack Ryan with it.
Come on, game bitch.
Here, hold this again. They might have missed it.
Hey, I am sober today,
Oh
which
well,
is a rarity.
wow. No wonder everything's going bad.
That's probably why.
About 8 years after Army of Darkness, you go back to the cabin where the original Evil Dead movie took place. And of course, you play the tape recorder of the guy doing the chant from the Necronomicon. So the demons come back. And now you join up with somebody else and you have to go around hunting the missing pages of the Necronomicon so you can send the demons back to hell.
Oh.
So
Reminds me a lot of Castlevania 2. You have to
Yep.
find parts of Dracula to bring him back to then to kill him and get rid of him again.
yeah. And you get to play as Ash, luckily, so you get to go around, say, groovy all the time, shoot stuff, and cut them up. with
Is there other
chainsaws.
characters in the game other than Ash that are playable? Or
Not just Ash.
so it's a one-player game?
Yeah. Yeah. It's on
So what style is it in the vein of? Is it like a Resident Evil type style? Or?
it's a more action-oriented Resident Evil type game.
I see, okay.
It uses polygon graphics and I think also pre-rendered backgrounds.
They did really good rendering his brown slacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make out folds in his slacks better than his face. Oh, PlayStation.
Yeah. What a lovely game. It was actually fairly fun. You know, it's if you have a chance to come across it, it's not really expensive. I definitely say get it and give it a shot.
Oh, it's one of those fancy cases.
Yeah, one of those
Flips
fancy
out.
dancy flip thingies. Because you got to have 2 discs in it.
See, that's one of the things I never understood why PlayStation didn't do that more when they did the double stack. The case, because if it broke, it's like, the fuck do I get a replacement for this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's pretty much end of that one.
Okay. I might have to look into finding a copy of that sometime.
So I'll sell you this one for $112.
$112?
Yep. Yep, Friends discount.
Friends discount. Well, if it goes for that much, I think it can stay right in your hands.
All right, let's talk about shooting some xenomorphs.
Oh, okay. That comes out of my bag now. I do not have the case for this one. This is just the manual inside of a DVD case. Because, of course, this is a Saturn game, so like I said, the cases do not last. Let me see if we can get that to focus there. It's aliens. You know what a fucking alien looks like. So, in Trilogy, let me see if I'm going to make sure I get this correct here. It does go over the first 3 Alien movies. Yeah. And it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, I had that for the PlayStation, and, you know, I played through it, but I honestly don't remember the game.
It's good. Like, you know, it was good for its time. They were kind of like stuck in that, like, the best version of a first-person shooter that they did with the Alien franchise was the Alien vs. Predator that was on the Jaguar. That was a fantastic first-person shooter back in the early CD-ROM based games. This is okay. Done by Fox Interactive, so at least it had some production values to it. It's pretty cheap. Like, if you find a copy and you're wondering, just pick it up. Because, honestly, Saturn games right now are very fucking hard to find.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, you know, NCAA football 2012 or something.
Yeah.
Well, not even 2012, but like 2001 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it pays pretty good homage to the Alien franchise. You play as a Marine, obviously. And, you know, it's you versus everything. So it kind of reminds me more of like Aliens in a sense, which I think was the better of the 3. Mm-hmm. You know, if you ever wanted to have a good Aliens game where you go around first-person shooting, I would probably go for this because it's pretty cheap. And this was before Sega got their mitts on things and fucked everything up. So, I mean, Isolation was pretty good if we're gonna you know go around talking about that stuff. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I played it a ton of times, and this is M for mature, so it's not MA13.
They upped their game with it.
Yeah,
One thing I
newer.
do remember is a whole bunch of face huggers in it. It was almost to the point where
there's a lot of that.
It was like almost broken, where you had to like fight off these little bastards.
I think like whoever was programming stuff, like they were really proud of the face hugger animation, so they're like, just fucking put it in there, dude. It's fucking gold.
Yeah. And
1 million times.
Have any more to add to that?
I'm pretty good with that. Yeah.
All right. Go down. And let's talk about a TV game.
All
About
right.
the only thing I could come up with for TV, horror based, was X-Files.
Never played that. I know of it, but I've never played it.
Here, Vanna, hold it for a second.
Can we butcher the X-Files theme song like we did the...
Oh yeah, let's give it a shot.
I don't even think that's close enough.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's something like that. Basically, it's a point-click adventure game. It takes place somewhere during the 3rd season. Mulder and Scully go missing, and you play some random new guy Director Skinner brings in to try to find you. You use modern technology. It's all FMV, so that's why it's point and click. And the script for the game was over 700 pages long.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. And that was cut back from the original script, which was over 1,000 pages.
I can't even think that they would need to record that much stuff for a
No.
video game.
No.
Speech.
No, because that was more... That was longer than the average motion picture.
I think the poor guy thought he was writing an episode.
Yeah, he was like writing the whole season.
This was like his magnum
Okay,
opus.
season
They're like,
4.
oh no, it's for the game. For the what?
Yeah.
You fucking serious?
But beyond that, it really isn't all that fun or interesting because it's low end FMV, better than the Sega CD, but still caught on CD-ROMs, which was really limited at the time. That really made its breakout when DVDs became big. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Let's talk about the other Aliens game that came out for the PlayStation and Nintendo 64.
Oh, okay.
Alien Resurrection. It was
Okay.
first-person shooter that was based on the movie.
Based off that horrible movie.
And, yep, I think that pretty much sums up the game, too.
Horrible movie.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, because your plot's based on the movie plot, so...
So you own this game?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
See, that's like my two favorite things in life are horror and video games.
Right.
So I decided, hey, why don't I collect horror video games?
Makes sense.
So I have a lot of really terrible video games that happen to have the word alien in the title. Or Dracula.
I mean, not all bad. Not all Dracula
bad.
games
Yeah,
are bad.
they're not all bad, but it's just amazing. If you would sit down and just that game's bad, that game's bad, that game's bad. Just amazing how many have the word either alien or Dracula somewhere in the title.
Yeah, easily.
Just because they're also two of the most common ones.
Right.
Well, outside of the Castlevania series, but that'll be coming up
So
later.
what style was Resurrection?
First-person shooter.
That was a first-person. Okay.
Yeah. I think it used a slightly improved engine that the trilogy ran off of.
I mean, the best Alien game that was ever made was the Alien Predator one that was in the arcade that was a beat-em-up. That was the best Alien Predator game ever made.
Yep.
Still to this day.
Mm-hmm. Now, did that actually ever come?
Never got ported.
Never got. That's what I thought. That was one of the games that everyone wanted. Never did come.
I was hoping it would because they've, as of when 360 was a big thing in the online arcade they had. We had gotten X-Men, which I never thought was going to see the light of day, and the Simpsons game, which I never thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if
and
Konami
even the
owns
Dungeons
the
and
rights.
Dragons game came out.
Yeah, that came out with Final Fight.
Yeah.
On a twofer. So, I don't know. I love that fucking game.
Yeah,
and
I
I
do
can only
too.
play it if I go to Timeline Arcade here in town. That's the only way I can play it.
Yeah, Matt summed that one up. That will be in a shitty movie. So, that summed that all up. So, we're going to get on to the last game that I have to show. And
Alright.
this is one of my favorite anime movies.
Oh, yeah.
The game itself is pretty much based off of the second movie, The Bloodlust.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Vampire Hunter D for the PlayStation. It has pretty much every character in the game was in the movies.
Sweet.
In the movie. Carmella was in it. Major Link. I forget the other ones.
Hey, the fact that you got Major Link is impressive to me. So. It's they didn't have normal names really.
No. Oh, they have the whole list in there.
Yeah, he's got everybody in it.
Yeah.
But so how does this one play? Is it?
It's very Resident Evil.
Okay.
In fact, you could almost say the engine was, it might have been Resident Evil's original game engine. It takes place inside Carmilla's castle. You have 2 modes. You have a battle mode, and you have a search mode. So, suck it, Arkham Asylum. You did not have a search mode first. That actually came from Vampire Hunter D. But basically, it's...
Suck it, Batman.
Yeah. I just thought that was a neat little thing. I actually thought of that when I was putting this together. I'm gonna knock Arkham Asylum down a notch or two.
Little side note, when I was looking at the art for the game on the back of there, when it showed the screenshots, it gave me flashbacks of the Crow City of Angels game. It's like it designed the exact same way, but that Crow's game is fucking horrible.
Just like the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Because the main thing is it's polygon characters and pre-rendered backgrounds with a fixed camera location. So combat, especially with bosses, depending on where you are in the room,
it's near
the
impossible.
the camera is 100% against you.
It's probably the biggest enemy in the game is the fucking camera.
Yeah, but other words, I love the game. I love the movie. Definitely, if you never saw the animated movie, definitely check it out. It's worth watching. And then, with as much problems as the game has, it's actually worth playing. It's fairly fun. Your hand talks to you just like in the movies do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he gives you hints and stuff. So he's kind of like Nevi.
Oh, okay.
But doesn't go, hey, listen!
I'm sure as hell would hope. I think D would cut his fucking hand off if it did that.
Yeah. You have anything?
Not really. Except I think Vampire Hunter D, the movie, is out of print, so it might be hard to find. Or the anime, I guess.
Oh,
I'm sure somebody has a burn of it online.
Yeah. Yeah, or randomly check YouTube. You can see every movie on YouTube. You just have to get there at the right time.
Yeah, that's very true. I've seen countless movies for free with YouTube. You never know what pops up.
All right. Anything else to add to?
I think I'm good on that one. Yeah.
I'm good on
All
that.
right. Okay, so this is Brian from Midnight's Gaming Emporium.
Jacob Carver from the Butcher Shop.
Matt from Grindcast and Grinded Word YouTube channel.
Signing out.